So, you ride a motorcycle here in the good old USA. You've passed your motorcycle exam, you got your license, and now you're ready to hit the open road on a cross-country trip, right? Wrong! Hold on to your handlebars, fellas, because sprinkled across this great land of ours are some absolutely ridiculous motorcycle laws that could turn your awesome road trip into a legal nightmare faster than you can say speeding ticket. So grab your favorite beverage and join me as we roll through some of the most ridiculous motorcycle laws that are on the books here in the good old USA. And believe me, take notes, because they don't teach you these laws in the motorcycle handbook. Let's get into it. Alright, hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Steve Sleepy, and I got the purple lights on because we're getting weird today. I did some deep diving and I found 20 of the most obscure, ridiculous motorcycle laws in the United States that are actually serious laws and can get you in trouble. I mean, seriously, like some of these are completely ridiculous. So slap on that helmet, make sure it's legal, and let's get into this. Alright, opening us up, Ohio never disappoints to have something stupid going on. In Youngstown, Ohio, you have one of the dumbest rules across the United States. So say you're driving through Youngstown, Ohio, and your gas gauge is low, but you can't find a gas station and you run out of gas? That is a ticketable offense in Youngstown, Ohio. So do not run out of gas in Youngstown, Ohio. In fact, the article that I read said one guy got a ticket for $175. So avoid Youngstown if you have any issues with your bike not knowing if you have enough gas or not. Alright, this next one is just straight up bizarre because I don't even know how you would prevent this. But oh yeah, if you're traveling through Minnesota and you got dirty tires, that is enough to get a ticket. I'm not kidding. In Minnesota proper, a police officer can ticket you for having dirty tires. They consider it to be unsafe in their city. So clean them donuts off before you ride through Minnesota. So this next one, this is not going to be too hard to avoid because if you're riding a bike that was made in the last 15 years, I think all motorcycles now have a headlight that stays on. It's called the daytime running light. But if you're riding a vintage bike and you're going through Connecticut, make sure you have that headlight on because it is illegal to ride a motorcycle without a headlight. I know there's some other states that also have that law, and like I said, most bikes have their headlights on, so nothing to worry about unless you're riding that vintage bike with the on-off switch and you're going to Connecticut or any of the other states, so make sure you check before you do your ride. This next one is a total buzzkill. As somebody who has participated in naked rides, in costumed rides, in distinguished gentleman rides, and all the rides that wear costumes or lack of costumes, they're a lot of fun. They're great. Most of the time they're low speeds. It's more about the community having fun and dressing up. But you know where you won't be doing that? In Virginia. Because in Virginia, it is illegal to wear a costume and ride a motorcycle if it conceals your identity. And pretty much all my costumes, except for the naked ride one, definitely concealed my identity. So, I'm going to continue to enjoy these fun rides, but I'm just not going to do them in Virginia. Alright, if your ride is taking you through Oklahoma, don't be the guy who reads a comic book and rides your bike. I mean, nobody should do that, but if you are a guy who reads comic books while riding your motorcycle, there is an actual law on the books in Oklahoma, and you can get a ticket for it. So, leave that to the hotel and just pay attention to what you're doing in Oklahoma. If you're in Tennessee, you can read all you want. If you find yourself by Arkansas and it's 9 p.m. and you're hungry, don't honk your horn at the sandwich shop. If you honk your horn at the sandwich shop to say, hey, are you guys open? You can get a ticket. That is a public nuisance and there will be no honking at sandwich shops. You can yell, you can knock, you can call them, but just don't honk that horn. There'll be a cop there taking you to jail. And you won't get your sandwich. Alright, one of my favorite states to go riding down in the Blue Ridge Mountains is Tennessee. And this next law, I can't figure out how this is even a thing. So, as far as I remember, and every map that I've looked at, Tennessee is landlocked. So this law is really strange. But in Tennessee, it is illegal to hunt wild game or any game off of your motorcycle except for whales. Seriously, go look it up. If you can find a whale, you can shoot it from your motorcycle. This is actually a pretty cool one. If you happen to have a motorcycle in Hawaii and you get to ride it, and there's a lot of traffic, it is legal to ride on the shoulder of the road to get by the traffic in a controlled and under the speed limit manner. So hey, if you're in Hawaii, you got a big traffic jam, go ahead and jump on the side of the road where all the nails and debris lives, and go ahead and pass all those cars so that you have plenty of time to change your tire that'll probably be flat when you get in front of all those cars. If you live in the country like I do, you know that there's plenty of road meat laying around. And if you live in Oregon and you're a hungry rider, you got no money and you need something, it is 100% legal to eat roadkill. So if you're a broke rider and you just want to get around and have a full belly, head on up to Oregon. Pick up anything you see dead on the road and it's all yours, 100% legal, tax-free. I'm sure you've seen the videos on YouTube with the young kids riding the dirt bikes, New York City, doing the wheelies and stuff, and they can barely, their feet are so tiny they're not even touching the pegs. Well, they just put a crime onto YouTube because in New York, if you can't touch the pegs, you are not legal to ride that motorcycle. So I'm not turning them in. I'm not a snitch or anything. I'm just saying it's illegal. Now, if you're a stunt rider or a guy that likes to evade the police, you're probably mostly aware of all the different license plate things. You can only have so many angles, whatever. But in New Jersey, there's an extra fine and extra trouble if your license plate is posted upside down on your motorcycle. So make sure it's the right side up. Don't be looking down at your bike when you put it on. It could get you a ticket. This next one we're going to run together, number 12 and 13. So 12 is California, you're allowed to lane split. I think pretty much everybody knows that. To me, as an East Coaster, it seems scary and it seems kind of counterintuitive, but I talk to all my friends on the West Coast and they say, no, it saves time, it's actually safer, etc. So I'm not judging, I don't have a race in this horse or this horse in this race, because we don't do it here, so I don't have any experience in it, so I'm not commenting on it. But anyways, we all know lane splitting is legal in California, but here's something new that I didn't know, and this just happened in August of 2024, is that in Colorado, lane splitting is legal sometimes. Talk about confusing the situation. So I guess I can't even find like a definitive answer of when it's legal. It just says under certain conditions and certain times. So Colorado people, I guess you can kind of lane split if you can figure out when you're allowed to do it. Congrats! Now this next one, considering it's Alabama, and I don't know, I've been there a lot. I love Alabama. I'm not disrespecting Alabama, but sometimes you find people who don't wear shoes in Alabama. It's just a thing. A lot of people like to go barefoot. Well, those people better not get on a motorcycle, because if you're on a motorcycle in Alabama barefoot, you can get a fine up to $150, and it's a ticketable offense. So slap them hoofs on and cover up them stink pickles, because the cops are coming after you. This next one is for Texas, but I think it should also apply to every movie about motorcycles ever made. And I think there's more than Texas. I think Ohio and a few others like this. In fact, I don't even know a state that isn't like this, but Texas definitely requires eye protection, even when wearing a full face helmet. So if you have a full face helmet without a shield, you still have to have eye protection. But I wish movies would do this too, because if you've ever tried to ride a motorcycle over 5 miles an hour with no glasses or any eye protection on, you can't see anything anyways. So every movie that shows these dudes going 100 miles an hour down the road with zero eye protection on, with their eyes pretty much halfway open, looking at things or shooting a gun, anybody that's ridden a bike looks at that and goes, how fake is this? Like, didn't they get anybody to tell these guys that that's not the way it works? And anything over like 30 miles an hour, there's gonna be water squirting out of your eyes and you're gonna be a squid? But anyways, in Texas, make sure you got your peepers covered, because that is illegal too. And I think in Ohio and a bunch of other places. So check your local laws. This next one's on the books in Montana, and it seems kind of weird, and I would like to see this one in action, but basically what it's saying is, it's illegal to pass a car on the shoulder even if the road is clear. Meaning that if it's a 2-lane highway and it's going this way, and there's a car dead in your lane, and there's traffic coming this way, you can't pass on the shoulder to get around him and keep going, even if there's nothing obstructing you. You have to wait to pass on the left-hand side. Now, I can't see that. Like, if there was a police officer there, I'm sure he would direct people around on the right side if you had to. So it's one of those laws that's seriously like, what? Like, are you trying to hinder traffic or hurt people? But anyways, if you see a cop and you're in Montana and there's a car dead in the thing or a bike dead in the middle of the lane, don't pass it on the shoulder. It's a ticketable offense. This one goes almost municipality to municipality. A lot of states have this on the books, but then they'll have different things for different parts of the city, etc. But in Washington, D.C. and many other cities, it is illegal to park a motorcycle on the sidewalk. And here's the funny part. There's different rules for scooters and motorcycles. And here in Ohio, you're supposed to be able to park any scooter under 150 cc's on a sidewalk as long as it's not impeding traffic. Well, I'm still fighting a ticket that I got on my wife's scooter 6 years ago in Cleveland Heights, where I did exactly that. And I took the ordinance from the Ohio book to the judge, and he said it was above his pay grade and he was going to send it to another guy, and then I've never heard anything. So it's one of those things where some people say some laws say it's legal, some say it's not, some laws are followed, some are not. But in DC, don't park your motorcycle on the sidewalk. Is your favorite movie The Crow? Do you like to wear dark makeup under your eyes, and are you slightly depressed? Do you like to take your motorcycle and late at night before it closes, ride through the cemetery pretending that you're a Gothic king or queen? Well, in Nevada, don't do it because it's illegal. Riding your motorcycle through a cemetery without attending a funeral is illegal. So sorry all you Nevada Goths, you're gonna have to find something else to do, but don't ride that bike through a cemetery. I know they just brought this into Ohio as well, and it's gonna piss off a lot of brothers. So if you're a guy out there that loves his ape hangers, you better get your measuring tape out, because now there's a law in Ohio where your handlebars cannot be above your shoulders. So if your bars are anything but here, that's a ticketable offense. Now, I've seen at Ohio Bike Week at least 42 billion motorcycles that had handlebars about this tall. I don't know how they're going to enforce it. I don't know how often they're going to enforce it, but just be aware that there are laws on the books now where your handlebars cannot be above your shoulders. Sorry, brothers, you might have to unape the hangers. All right, and this last one's kind of pushing the boundaries of a law because I don't know one state that allows this. But when you do this research, a big one that pops up is Florida does not tolerate wheelies. If you do a wheelie in Florida, it's like a super reckless op. You can lose your license for a whole bunch of time, and it's just not good. But then again, in Ohio and Michigan and Pennsylvania and pretty much anywhere in the country, if you do a wheelie, you're going to get in trouble. But apparently in Florida, it's worse. So keep all your one-wheel action to not Florida. Sorry, Todd Colbert. All right, guys. Well, I definitely learned something. I hope you did as well. And if you did, throw me a subscribe and a like down there on the video. We do these once or twice a week, and right now in Ohio it's winter, so we're not out riding, and it's 20 degrees in my garage, so we're not wrenching. So we're doing a lot of research and having fun, and I hope you're enjoying these. And as the year goes on here in 2025, we have the AIM show coming up, we have the One show coming up, we have the Garage Brood show coming up, we have Mid-Ohio Vintage Days coming up. We have a whole bunch of things that we're going to be going to this year. So stick around, subscribe, and remember, if it works, it ain't dumb.